My name is Casey, and I've been a therapist for 13 years, and I'm here to tell you, you might actually not need therapy. You might just need to be able to take your life back. Here's 5 simple ways that we're going to try to do that before you make that appointment. Just a little bit of storytelling here. After seeing tens of thousands of hours of therapy, I realized that there are basically 5 things that every single person that comes into my office, I would seek to have them do before they move forward with anything that perhaps would treat their mental health in like a more behavioral way. Because if they're able to do these 5 things, they probably wouldn't need me in the first place. Let's go. So if you're not sold on the therapeutic process, here's 5 ways that you can address your own mental underpinnings of your mental health without any prescriptions, any costs. This is scientifically backed. It doesn't mean that you'll totally avoid mental health problems. Of course, discomfort is part of everyone's life, but there is ways to treat it. There are ways to treat your mental illness, your mental unrest, without having to go through with sitting with a stranger and talking to some ideologue or someone who's not going to inform you about what they're actually doing. 5 things you can do if you want to dodge counseling. The first one is get direct sunlight in your eyes as early in the day as possible. Watch Andrew Huberman, a neuro-ophthalmologist out of Stanford University, on this fact.
Try and get outside, ideally within the first 5 minutes of waking, or maybe it's 15 minutes, but certainly within the first hour after waking. I want to share with you 3 critical things about this tool of morning sunlight viewing. First of all, this is not some woo biology thing. This is grounded in the core of our physiology. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of quality peer-reviewed papers showing that light viewing early in the day is the most powerful stimulus for wakefulness throughout the day, and it has a powerful positive impact on your ability to fall and stay asleep at night.
According to the Journal of Affective Disorders in 2018, direct sunlight in your eyes actually helps re-regulate depressive symptoms. That's all you need to know. So the first step is direct sunlight. In 2022, the JAMA Psychiatry Review reported that exercise is as effective as medicine for mild to moderate depressive symptoms, and I can tell you forthrightly that it will help you not only begin to develop testosterone if you're a man, or to engage with stress relief for anyone, it will also help motivate you and get that ball rolling to the next possible intervention that you can do to push your mental health forward positively.
It's not that I'm a shitty person, but if I'm trying to be Mr. Olympia, like, you're not fucking doing enough, and it creates a impeding anxiety upon myself, like I'm not doing enough. And that's not like an overwhelming thing all the time. It's a drive for me to keep being better and keep pushing more and more, but it's a lot. So I think being able to manage that is one of the most challenging things of maintaining success for an extended period of time. You know, there's 2 different mindsets when you win something. There's, oh, I won, I did it, I'm done. And then there's, oh shit, like I got to do better than this. I won, now I have to maintain this. Not only maintain this, but this is the bare minimum of what's expected of me, and I got to do.
Now everybody's going to say that cost is a problem for exercise, but you don't need a gym. And here's how I know that. I've worked with a lot of people who are coming out of incarceration, and they are in much better shape than the rest of us. And they do not have equipment in large majority of incarcerated populations. They don't have equipment. So you don't need a whole lot. All you need is, 3 hots and a cot, according to what it looks like when people come out of jails. The third way that you can begin to address your mental health without going to therapy is by reducing your phone usage. Watch this.
So it's my contention that men are being sedated out of their status seeking and reproductive seeking behavior through a combination of social media, video games, and porn. So they're not given a sufficient dose to make them happy or satisfied, but it is enough to dampen down and nerf that impulse. So, and this is what I've called the male sedation hypothesis. And
in 2022, a study in cyberpsychology, behavior, and social networking found that reducing your social media usage by just 15 minutes a day greatly reduced the symptoms of depression. And those types of social media apps have been using something called operant conditioning, just like the gambling slot machines. When you pull down the circle spins at the top of the page and then it refreshes. That's the same type of psychological technology that was used by B.F. Skinner in operant conditioning, where they recognized that pulling the slot machine, getting variable rewards, which means 1 out of 7 times or 1 out of 17 times, you get a feedback or a reward or something that would keep you to continue using that technology. Those are the types of things that were outlined in The Social Network or The Social Dilemma, which is on Netflix. It is quite simply being used, your psychology is being used against you to try to keep you hooked to your phone. Put it down and your mental health will improve. Number 4 is your sleep health. Now, this goes hand in hand with the technology use because a lot of people are reducing their sleep based on the fact that they're overusing their technology and they're getting worse sleep because of it.
I would say that probably the most striking statement I can offer up front is the following. In that 20 years of research, we have not been able to discover a single psychiatric condition in which sleep is normal. And to me, it has taught me everything that I need to know about this very intimate bidirectional relationship between your sleep health and your mental health. And you're right to emphasize that notion of mental health, because we're not just going to speak about some of the sort of challenging aspects of sleep and psychiatric disorders, but we'll speak about some of the benefits that sleep can provide when you get it to turn the tables, and we move in the direction not of mental illness, but we move in the direction of mental wellness.
Sleep deprivation leads to emotional instability, and especially in young people who need more sleep generally to develop as their bodies grow, and they are actually the ones getting less sleep. So the increases in anxiety and depression reports among youth could be directly linked to the fact that they're just not getting enough sleep. Sleep is the time when your dopamine reignites itself, when it becomes more available in the following day. That's why if you smoke a doob first thing in the morning, you get more reward because you have more dopamine available because it's been regenerated during sleep. So too can that be applied to the rest of your rewards throughout the day. If you're not smoking that doob first thing in the morning, the more sleep you get, probably the more dopamine you're going to have available to draw upon for goal-directed behavior and for encouraging your reward system to give you benefits when you exercise, when you eat well, when you seek out new relationships. All those things will be more available for reward if you sleep better. The last one, and maybe even the most difficult way to avoid a therapist appointment, is to eat a healthy diet. Watch this.
But I still had these low-grade symptoms, was trying to feel better. And the thing that was the most striking to me after doing the diet for 3 months was not the fact that my metabolic syndrome was gone. That was my goal. And it was a, seemingly miraculous achievement because I got rid of everything with one dietary change. But the thing that I noticed was dramatic improvement in my mood, energy, concentration, and sleep. For the first time in my life, I started waking up before my alarm went off and feeling rested. That never happened to me before.
Studies into ketogenic diets or also carnivore diets have shown great outcomes for fighting depression and for fighting symptoms of other disorders. Now, if we eat like the lab rats that we've been created to be in modern America, it's no wonder that all these chemicals, which are so unnatural, are causing us worsening mental health symptoms, besides the fact that they just don't fuel your motivation and your energy to be able to press the ball forward when you're facing a crisis or a time when you need to be resilient. Watch what you eat, and you'll probably watch your anxiety and depression dwindle. A lot of people think that the therapy culture and modern psychology has more to offer than the traditions, which are solutions to problems we forgot we had. Therapy has problems. It's been found in certain studies by Walpole and others to not have any greater effect than placebo on generating positive emotion and helping us fight through these symptoms. So, all that I've outlined is certainly not a cure for severe and persistent mental illness, but for those of us, the vast majority of us, who report just mental unrest that doesn't rise to the level of a crisis or a disorder that needs therapy per se, we can engage in these simple behaviors and possibly dodge that ideologically captured wretch who's going to try to tell you how to operate your life when there's is a flat mess and a dumpster fire. Dodge that appointment, do these 5 things. And after 30 days, if they don't work for you, I want you to come back into the comment section and let me know exactly how disciplined you were and how much of a difference it made, and whether you just think therapy would have been flat out better because it only costs you an hour a week. Let me know. I am the Rumble Right Dad. I started this channel so that I can help men and fathers be the best that they can be.
That's good to hear. So, son, do you have a girlfriend?
I do actually, as a matter of fact.
Oh, man.
If you don't want to miss a moment, please hit the bell so that you get notified when I make a new video. Also, there are a great many people who will see this who do not know that there are based therapists out here trying to help you. I've been a dad for nearly 10, a therapist for 13, and a married man for more than 10 years. And I believe that there was a way for us to thrive as men, but we've lost it. And modern society's called you a lot of names. It's time for us to retake what it means to be a man.